In this installment, we're going to be going over the NBA DraftKings and FanDuel slate for February 24th. We got a Freaky Friday. Let's get into it. Hey, yo! Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to give you the winning ingredients for your February 24th FanDuel and DraftKings NBA slate that we got going on Freaky Friday. But before I deep dive into this very, very essential slate, guys, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're following me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetsJetsD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91. And don't forget about the Patreon. Guys, I said in the video previously, you missed out on a killer night. If you're looking right now at the screen, this is the Patreon, and here are the plays. We have the 76ers came through already. They won. The Pistons covered that +7. Raptors won. We're waiting on the Thunder right now. They're currently leading in OT. The Lakers are currently up against the Golden State Warriors. Actually, they're blowing them out by 16 points in the third quarter. The Kings money line looks pretty strong as well. And then, as you can see, my top plays were 76ers, Lakers, and Raptors. Guys, you're missing out on money. Sign up for that Patreon right now. Before we get to the point guard position, let's start out with the injury report. Some of the key things that we're going over on this Friday slate. Giannis Antetokounmpo, obviously he's going to be out for a little bit of time here with this wrist injury. He's going to be doubtful, and that's going to be reliant upon, as you can see in the thumbnail, Jrue Holiday is going to have to come through. Bobby Portis is back. That's another positive. But let's get into some of these other outs. Obviously, Kevin Durant is not back yet. Stephen Curry is out. Kevin Porter and Jalen Green for the Houston Rockets are going to be out. So they're going to be relying on a lot of cheap punt plays at that point guard and shooting guard position. We'll get into that very, very soon. And we also have a Q tag on Ben Simmons. For the point guard position, we're going to start with the thumbnail, and that's going to be Jrue Holiday. The big injury to Giannis Antetokounmpo, that leads to a gigantic usage bump to the point guard and the second leader of this team here in Jrue Holiday. $8,900 in salary. That price bump is not enough. Okay, what he's going to have to provide for this offense, he's going to run the offense, he's going to score at will, he's going to provide assists, rebounds, everything is going to come to the forefront. We're going to see more like we saw against the Boston Celtics here, where he had 40 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, 3 steals. Yes, he has a great supporting cast here. Not a great supporting cast, but a solid enough supporting cast for them to, get by while Giannis is out. But this is going to lean on Jrue Holiday and his usage increasing. All right, so more shots, more assists. He's going to be running this offense. Everything's going to be going through him. So love Jrue Holiday on Friday at this price. Still is not correctly priced. All right. It should be around that 9,500, close to 10,000 range. That's where you're going to see where you might have to pump the brakes on Jrue Holiday playing on him unless it's a supreme matchup. All right. Next guy we're going to look at will be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander here. This is going to be his second game on a back-to-back here. They just played the Utah Jazz. They just lost to the Utah Jazz in overtime. But this matchup against the Phoenix Suns, he's yet to face them this season as well. But he's been putting up great numbers as the leader of this OKC team here in the Thunder. This is a great matchup going up against the Phoenix Suns. If we're looking at fantasy points allowed to the shooting guard position, they are giving up third most in the league. Okay, that's 41.85 fantasy points per game to the shooting guard position here, and that's going to be where Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to operate here in that point guard, shooting guard operating range right there between him and Josh Giddey. If you want to save some salary, go with someone that's going to be a little bit cheaper but still has decent upside and plays another guard position. I can definitely see people going towards Josh Giddey at 7,500. Obviously, he doesn't get the high usage as SGA is, but he is a great complement. As you can say, he has some great games already this season. The past 5 games 4 of the past 5 over 30 fantasy points. Obviously, if we're paying 7,500, we need 35 to 4. We really need 40 plus fantasy points from him. With this game here going against Phoenix, should be highly competitive, back and forth type environment. I see Josh Giddey. If you want to save some salary on SGA, you can go towards him at 7,500. All right, and then one more point guard play that I do have, and that's going to be Spencer Dinwiddie, the leader of, it's like a 1A, 1B situation here with the Brooklyn Nets between him and Mikal Bridges, but Dinwiddie runs the offense here, and he can go out and go off in spurts, okay? Game previously was Mikal Bridges scoring 45 points. This could be the Dinwiddie game here going up against Chicago, who plays poor defensively. We saw him break out in that game against the Knicks. 33 minutes, 28 points, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 3 rebounds. We got 40 fantasy points. In a previous game against the Chicago Bulls, this is why we want to play Spencer Dinwiddie. He showed up with 25 points, 4 steals, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds. 48 fantasy points, and he is at a salary of under 8K. So Spencer Dinwiddie is someone we can really look forward towards on Friday's slate. For the shooting guard position, we're going to go towards Paul George and the LA Clippers in their matchup. Paul George, shooting guard and small forward eligibility. So you got dual eligibility on DraftKings. So a lot of flexibility with Paul George, but he's in a great matchup going against the Sacramento Kings. In a previous video, I told you this is a very high-paced team here going up against the Kings. So you want to focus your plays on any team going up against the Sacramento Kings. We did that with the Portland Trail Blazers yesterday. Let me double check on that. Yes, with the Portland Trail Blazers. And now in this game, we're going to focus in on the Clippers. Paul George had an outstanding game last time he faced the Sacramento Kings. 38 minutes, 62 fantasy points in this game at $8,200 in salary. He's seen a big price drop where he was upwards of $9,300 about a week ago. So Paul George is at a value. We want to take advantage of that. Definitely love him as a shooting guard. The next guy we're going to look at a little bit cheaper here, and that's going to be Chris Middleton. All right, small forward eligibility on DraftKings. I believe you can get him as a shooting guard. Let's double check that here for Chris Middleton. If we can get him as a shooting guard. If not, then yes, we can. See, so shooting guard on FanDuel, but only small forward on DraftKings here. But we want to go towards Chris Middleton. He's going to have to be the Robin to Drew Holiday's Batman for this team, for the Milwaukee Bucks. You're definitely going to see a usage bump with his shot attempts and threes. Okay, so we're going to get hopefully last year's or 2 years ago Chris Middleton, because he hasn't really been himself 100%, only making about 1 to 2 threes a game. This is a guy that's led the league in threes on previous seasons, and he's kind of toned it down this year, but things hopefully can go back to a little bit normal. Maybe we get the old Chris Middleton that we've seen in previous seasons with the Milwaukee Bucks at this price of $6,300. Yes, he did get a bump, but is definitely 100% viable for what the usage he's going to see now with Giannis out. Let's move on to the small forwards. Small forwards we're going to begin with will be Klay Thompson of the Golden State Warriors. This is another second end. This is the back end of a back-to-back for the Golden State Warriors. They're facing the Lakers now. Now they're going up against the Houston Rockets. And this historically is a team that Klay Thompson absolutely dominates time and time again, okay? Klay Thompson has dual eligibility, shooting guard and small forward. We're going to play him as small forward here at $8,000 a salary. I gave you Jordan Poole in the previous video. We're going with Klay Thompson in this one because he has a strong history of destroying the Houston Rockets. He loves playing against him. And like I said, he went crazy against him. 41 fantasy points, made how many threes he made in that game? 10 threes in that game Took 23 shots, made 14 of them. So we're going to go to Klay Thompson in this. Well, I have no problem paying up for his salary on Friday. Another guy, we want a cheaper option at that small forward position. We're going to look at the newly acquired Josh Hart for the New York Knicks, who they got from the Portland Trail Blazers. And he has been a great spark to this offense. As you can see, 3 out of the last 5 games, well over 30 fantasy points. We had a 39 against Brooklyn, 34.25 against Utah, and a 38.5 against Chicago. Now going up against Washington. We know Washington. They can't rebound. They play at a very high pace. So this is going to be a key factor here when you're looking at New York Knicks. We could look at Julius Randle. We can obviously look at their point guard, and we can also look at Josh Hart. He's taking a decent amount of shots and bringing high energy to this team. Okay, so loving him at $5,800 in salary, and as you can see, he has the upside to go well above 30 fantasy points. All right, let's move on to the power forward position. At the power forward position, we're going to start off with a high-priced guy, and that's going to be DeMar DeRozan going up against the Brooklyn Nets. He played them already 3 times now, and very middling. So we're hoping we're going to stick with the stacks and go with the matchup here, and hopefully he can have a better game than he's had the past 3 times. So you might want to shy away from that, but we're sticking with the stats. One of the weaknesses of the Brooklyn Nets is that power forward position. Obviously, DeMar DeRozan is kind of like a hybrid here. He's playing essentially point guard between him and Zach LaVine. Ayu Dosunmu, who we'll get to, who's a cheap play. He's not really a true point guard. It's really the offense is flowing through DeMar and Zach LaVine, and then Vucevic is getting all the crumbs after that. But at 7,800, getting a high usage. Obviously, the Nets have dominated the Chicago Bulls as of late. DeMar DeRozan is someone that I feel like can have a breakout game and truly show and exploit this matchup against the Brooklyn Nets. All right. The next play at the power forward position will be Bobby Portis, who we got here, a third Milwaukee Buck that we want to focus in on, because we've seen with and without Giannis Antetokounmpo, Bobby Portis has showed up and has put up huge numbers. As you can see against Cleveland, 5 of 8 from that 3-point line, 41 fantasy points, and came through with a double-double. Against the Indiana Pacers, another double-double, 21 and 11, 42.25 fantasy points against the Indiana Pacers. All right, so Bobby Portis is going to be relied upon to secure down low that front court there. But I like him at 7,600, has upside of the double-double, can knock down the threes, multi-talented here. I like him more than Chris Middleton. So we're going to Drew Holiday, and we're going to Bobby Portis, and then Chris Middleton, okay? So if you want to focus in on Milwaukee stacks for Friday, by all, 100% do so, okay? For the center plays, we're going to start out with standout breakout, pretty much, Nick Claxton of the Brooklyn Nets here at $6,400 in salary. With all the stars going, okay? No KD, no Kyrie. Obviously, Mikal Bridges, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Nick Claxton. Do not forget, he is a big factor in this offense and defensively for the Brooklyn Nets. As you can see, the last couple games before the All-Star break, he has had a little bit of an issue with the hamstring. Hopefully that this All-Star break has turned out fine for him. He's going to come back 100% in this game against the Chicago Bulls. And if we look just a little bit down, look at these performances. 44.25 against Phoenix, 46 against the Clippers, 47 against Washington, 44 against the Knicks. All these high production type of outcomes here, and he was around $8,100 in salary. You're getting him at a steal at $6,400. We're going to take advantage of this price. All right, this is the reason why we're going to take advantage of the situation going up against the Chicago Bulls, who are 5th worst in the league against centers, and we're going to take advantage of the price discrepancy here. So love Nick Claxton at $6,400. The next center we're going to look at will be Houston Rockets center here that we got. This guy he's coming into his own here. Alperin, Segun, he could do a little bit of everything. He rebounds, he scores, and he's chipping in with some assists. He almost had a triple-double against the Kings a couple weeks ago, where he had 49 fantasy points. But in this type of environment, with no Kevin Porter, no Jalen Green, he's going to be relied upon a little bit more. We're going to see an increase on his shot attempts. Obviously, they might run more of the offense through him because he has a very good prowess of passing the basketball here. Love him at 7,500 if you want to spin up a little bit more at that center position. Now, let's go on to the UTEL and value plays on FanDuel. On FanDuel, the value plays that we got for Friday, we're going to start off with the Houston guards, okay? Like I said before, no Kevin Porter, no Jalen Green, so they're going to be relying on a lot of young myriad of point guards here in their backcourt here. We got Ty Washington, we have Dacian Nix. Both of these guys are going to be running point guard here. We're going to find out which one's going to start. I believe it's going to be Ty Washington. If not, definitely stick to the news here. Go to RotoWire, NBA lineups. Definitely stick to that, or you go to Roto World NBA so you can follow up and see who's going to be starting for the Houston Rockets. You want to take advantage of these punt players. If they're getting 30 minutes and at this min price of 4,000 or 4,300, you should take advantage of that and find other ways to build your lineup. So love Ty Washington here. Dacian Nix. Stick to the news. See which one is going to be starting. All right. Ayu Desumno. Hopefully I said his last name right. I really tried. He is the starting point guard for the Chicago Bulls. Mainly more defensively, he comes through and he shoots the occasional three pretty decently there. He's more of a high energy guard. He's not going to be running the offense here. Like I said, it's Zach LaVine. It's going to be DeMar DeRozan and then Vucevic. Those are going to be the three main guys, but he gets some of the crumbs here. We had 27 fantasy points against Indiana, 29.8 against Memphis with 37 minutes. He's getting a ton of minutes. He needs to come through defensively. He has some games where there's 2 steals, 1 steal here and there, but he's mainly a defense and high energy guard, can shoot the 3, but if he's hot, then we can look at a gem here at this current price of 4,400. all right. The last but not least value play that we have for Friday will be Cam Thomas. All right. Ben Simmons being questionable, more likely doubtful in this game. That's going to be more minutes and more offense, more frequent, more free-flowing offense for the Brooklyn Nets. Jacque Vaughn has really struggled to find a position for Ben Simmons in this offense since everyone left. Okay, so they've been bringing Ben Simmons off the bench, and now that messes up everything now. So if he's going to be out, Cam Thomas can go back in his regular role, being a 6-man on this team. And we already know Cam Thomas can put up points in bunches. Okay, we have some big games. If you look a little bit earlier in February, 56 against Phoenix, 52 against the Clippers, and 53 against Washington. He had a little bit of a breakout game against Miami in 21 minutes, 19 points. So any game he can go off. So definitely want to have a few lineups with him in it because he is a huge X factor, right? So love Cam Thomas for Friday, all right? So thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetsJetsD, and I'll be back with another video very soon, all right? Peace out.